Hi, my name is Alex and welcome to the Crochet Circle. Part 1, the arms and the legs.
Welcome to this part 1 of the tutorial for a crochet doll. First I'm gonna go through what I will need. I need some yarn. I am using some cotton yarn here with a 3mm crochet hook. So I have the light beige for the skin, for the body, for the arms, for the legs. I have the light brown color for the hair. I have the pink color for the knickers. I'm sorry, but my doll will have some underwear on. Then I have scissors, a needle. The needle, I will be using the needle for sewing together any gaps that may occur between the legs and under the armpits. I have some safety eyes. If you don't have the safety eyes, not to worry, you can just embroidery some eyes on your doll, so that's completely alright. And I have some filling that I'm gonna stuff the crochet doll together in. Okay, I don't need in this part of the tutorial the brown. I will need the pink one when I'm gonna be doing the last row of the legs. But first I'm gonna start with the arms. Just a quick walkthrough how it's gonna be done. First I'm gonna do the arms, then I'm gonna do the legs, I'm gonna join the legs, I'm gonna do the body, then I'm gonna attach the arms, do the neck, and at the end the head. I actually have somewhere here around a drawing on how I imagined my doll to be. So it's something like this, and hopefully at the end it's gonna come out like this. Now this pattern is really adjustable. You can make longer legs, you can make shorter legs, you can make longer arms, shorter arms, you can extend the body, you can make a smaller head or a larger head. This is just one kind of a my way to do this doll. So let's begin. Oh, just one more thing. The pattern will be up here, each row or a cluster of rows that you have to do, and also down in the description below there will be the pattern and the link to the pattern on my webpage. You can definitely go and check it out. But now I think you have all the basic information, so let's begin. So I'm gonna start with the magic ring. In that magic ring I'm gonna do 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Pull the magic ring tight. Now this is row number 1 done. Row number 2 is going from 6 stitches to 8 stitches. How I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna let's focus a bit more. I'm gonna do 2 single crochets and an increase. I'm gonna repeat that twice. So a single crochet is just a single crochet, so that's gonna be 1, 2, and now an increase is just 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So I'm gonna do 3, 4, an increase, so that's the first stitch and the second stitch in the same stitch. So now I'm at 5, just a single crochet, 6, just a single crochet, 7, 8 is gonna be 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So 7, 8. Pulling the magic ring again a bit tighter, and now there are 2 rows done. So if you have your row counter, good for you. I'm really happy you have it. I don't have it, so that's why I'm gonna have my piece of paper here and my pen, and I'm just gonna be counting the rows. So now I need 14 rows of 8 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there goes my first line down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And another 8. And I have 10 more rows to go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide the starting tail in so it won't bother me when I'm gonna be turning my work around. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Seven more rows to go. Of course, it's much easier to crochet if you have a larger thing to hold on to, but I think this will do as well. And as you saw in the beginning, the doll looks just amazing. So sometimes you need a bit of an effort to do it. So that's now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stuff just a little bit the arm up, because it's much easier to do it like this as you go, and you don't wait until the end. So just a little bit of stuffing and just trying to fill the arm up. You don't want to overstuff it, because then you see holes in it. Now I have another 4 more rows to go. Three more rows to go. Two more rows to go. Or I can just count to 16, so now I'm on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last 8, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, leaving a bit of a tail. Now I have to join it invisibly, so I've already showed you how to do that, but let's just get over it again just for you to see. So now I have my 8 stitches around, and this is the end tail. So I'm not now going into the first stitch that I see, but I'm going in to the second stitch. So the first stitch I'm kind of just skipping, because I'm gonna be overlaying that stitch. So, and then I go back from where I started, and you can see I have now 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I'm just gonna do now is fill the arm up completely, and then I'm gonna start with the next one. To be honest, I could just, do this and the second arm would appear, but I do want to show you in real time how much time it actually takes for me to crochet a doll. Now, if you are a much faster crocheter than me, then you're probably gonna do it much faster than I'm gonna do it, but I think you also know from all of my tutorials, they are all really long. Okay, so this is now one arm stuffed and done. And now I can go to the next one. So I'm gonna leave it here. The pattern will be the same, starting with the magic ring. Now 6 single crochets inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, closing up the magic ring. And now to go from 6 to 8, I have to do 2 single crochets and an increase stitch, and I have to repeat those 2 steps 2 times. So 1 is a single crochet, 2 is a single crochet, 3, 4 is an increase. An increase is just 2 single crochets in the same stitch, so that's 3, 4, 5 is a single crochet, 6 is a single crochet, now 7, 8 is an increase, so I'm just doing 2 stitches, 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So that's row number 2 done. Now I need 14 rows of 8 single crochets, so better start crocheting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Row number 1 out of 14 done, another 13 to go. Just 8 single crochets in a round. Now that's 2 done. 3 done. Four done. Now 10 more rows of 8 single crochets. So the easiest way for me it is to flatten the arm, and then I get the stitches that I have to go through at the front, and then I just move the work a bit forward and again do a few more stitches. So it's just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. One more row, and then I'm gonna stuff the arm a bit up. First I'm gonna pull the magic ring a bit more tighter, and now I'm gonna hide the end tail in. And now just some filling and put it into the arm. I know that some people use tweezers to put the stuffing in, but usually I use either the end of a crochet hook, or I have a plastic needle here that I'm using because it's just the right size to, you know, get all the filling into this small arm. Okay, so that's 9 rows out of 14 done. Four more rows. Three more rows. Now two more rows, or I can count to 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, leaving a bit of a tail. Pulling the yarn through. Doing an invisible join. Oops, that's not good. Actually, I have to cut it here because otherwise it's just gonna be annoying me all the time. So again, with the invisible join, I'm not going into the first stitch. I'm going into the second stitch. So into the second stitch, going in, and then going back from where I came from and pulling it tight. And here's now my 8 stitches. So all I have to do is just fill the arm up. And then I'm gonna be starting with the legs. The legs are gonna be just a bit easier to do because instead of the 8 stitches, it's gonna be 10 stitches. And because it's gonna be 10 stitches, it's gonna be just a little bit easier to turn the legs around. And that's it. Now the second arm is done. So these are my 2 arms for the doll done. What I can actually do is yeah, close enough. Would you agree? Okay, so the arms can go on the side. Now let's start with the legs. Again, I'm gonna be doing a magic ring. In that magic ring, I'm actually gonna do 5 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pulling tight the magic ring. Now to go from 5 to 10, I have to do 5 increases. That means in each of those stitches, I'm gonna do an increase. So the first rows are usually a bit harder, but it's a beginning, you know, beginnings are usually hard. So that's 1, 2. Three, 4 is an increase. So I'm doing 3, 4 in the same stitch, 5, 6 in the same stitch, 7, 8 in the same stitch, 9, 10 in the same stitch. So that's 10 stitches. Now I need 16 more rows of 10 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I said I need 16, so let's start with my counting. So that's 10. Now, one of the tips that I can give you is you can use a stitch marker to know where you've ended the row, but you can use some scrap yarn, or I have some thread here. I hope you can see it. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna put my thread between my last stitch and my first stitch, so if I get interrupted or something like that, I lost count, I do know where my row begins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and I can make another mark. So what I'm actually gonna do now is I'm gonna bring the thread that is in the back to the front, and that means there's another beginning of the row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And now that the thread that is in the front, I'm flipping backwards just to mark where my row begins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Again, the thread that is now in the back I'm putting into the front just to mark where my row begins. And now I'm counting 10 again, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now it's in the front, I'm moving it to the back. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. I'm moving it to the front, and I must not forget to put a mark on my piece of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Again, switching from back to the front. And if you have a thread or a yarn in like me, you can see how it's kind of going not straight up but under an angle. This will also be the problem that you usually have when making amigurumi. So I am gonna show you how I'm gonna attach the arms and where to make the shoulders, so you won't have that you don't see where those stitches perhaps don't meet up properly. So I've done 2 stitches now, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So currently we have spring, and one of my neighbors is doing their lawn. So if you hear a lawn mower in the back, welcome to my world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now 2 more rows to go. And then I'm gonna switch to the pink, because I'm gonna make some underwear on the go. That's 15. Okay, so I've done my 18 rows. 2 rows of the first and the second row kind of don't count. Then I needed 16 more rows of 10 single crochets. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna fill the leg up a bit. So first I'm gonna hide the starting tail, and then I'm just gonna fill the leg up a bit. I should have done it more as I've done it, but it is just a bit bigger hole than with the arms, so I can still fill it up. And I want it filled up all the way to the end. Okay, so this is now the bottom part of the leg done. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch colors. So I'm gonna actually take the color of pink because it's gonna be pink underwear, but you can use whatever color you want. If you don't want to change any colors, you actually don't have to. It can all be done in the same shade of the skin. So how I'm gonna actually change the color is, first I want to show you how you see the angle, how the rows are going. That's completely fine. Some rows are more straighter, some are more wonky, but as long as you have the count, everything is alright. So now I'm gonna put this out because I don't need it anymore. So how I'm gonna change the colors is I'm gonna go in with my beige as if I would do a single crochet. So I'm going into the stitch, grabbing the yarn, and now I have 2 loops on my hook. And now the third one, now I'm gonna attach the second color and I'm gonna go through both of the loops. So this is now my change of a color, and now I need 10 more single crochets in pink. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and one more row of 10 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now the pink yarn, I need to leave a bit of a tail. If you're wondering why, it's because with that pink yarn I'm gonna sew together any potential holes that will be made when making the gap between the legs. So first I'm gonna finish with the pink, so I'm gonna do an invisible join. Now this is only for the first leg. With the second leg, we're not gonna cut any yarn, we're just gonna continue working with attaching it to the first leg. So we're gonna attach it to this leg that I'm currently finishing off. And here is again the invisible join overlapping one of the stitches, and that's it. Now where I change the colors, all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna tie a knot and I'm gonna hide the loose ends into my work, and then I'm gonna do another leg for this part 1 of the video tutorials on how to make a crochet doll, and in the next one I'm gonna then show you how to attach the two legs together. So leg number 1 is done. I'm gonna put it next to the two arms and start with the second leg. So again, starting with the magic ring. In that magic ring, 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Closing up the magic ring. And now 5 increases. So at the end of the second row, I'm gonna have 10 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4 is an increase. 5, 6 is an increase. 7, 8 is an increase. And 9, 10 is an increase. Now that I have 10 stitches, the next 16 rows are gonna be just single crochets, and what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna put in my thread just to see where my row begins. If you have stitch markers, you can use your stitch markers. If you have your row counter machine, then tick, 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 you can row count on that, but I'm gonna be using a piece of paper. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm just moving the thread backwards and forwards, marking where my row begins. So it's just 10 single crochets in the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Putting a line down and putting the thread or the yarn or whatever you are using to mark the end or the beginning of the row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Another 11 to go. Just counting. I never know if I should count out loud or if I should only count for myself, but I hope I'm not interrupting you with your counting too much. So currently I'm on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. I'm gonna do one more row and then I'm gonna fill the leg up a bit. So I'm getting rid of the starting tail. Hiding it in. And now the filling for the leg, just a bit. Okay, now I think I can do another 5 rows. So marking where my row begins, and now just doing 10 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just 3 more rows to go, and then I'm gonna be switching the color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now 2 more rows to go. I'm just marking where the beginning of my row is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now this is gonna be the last row in this color. After this I'm gonna change to pink, so first I have to do 10 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now I need to adjust the... Actually first I'm gonna get rid of this thread because I know where I am now. Now I'm gonna fill the leg just a bit more up and then I'm gonna attach the pink yarn. And then I have to do 2 more rows with the pink. And then this part 1 of the tutorial series for the crochet doll will be done. Now in the next one I'm gonna show you then how to join the 2 legs together and do the body. So I have my pink yarn ready here. Now I said I'm going in as I would do a single crochet. Now I have 2 loops on my crochet hook. Now I'm grabbing the pink yarn and just going through those 2 loops. And now I have to do 10 single crochets in pink. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And now I just need to do 10 more single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now don't cut the pink yarn, like seriously, do not cut it, because I'm gonna continue with it in part 2. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna cut the skin color yarn and I'm gonna secure where those 2 colors meet. That means I'm just making a knot or 2 or 3 just so it is nicely secured and hiding the end tails in. Okay, so this was part 1 of the video tutorial series for the crochet doll. I've done the arms, I've done the 2 legs. On the second leg I didn't cut the yarn. Now in the next part I'm gonna show you how to join these 2 legs, how to make the body and how to attach the arms. And then in the next one I'm gonna show you how to make the head. And in the next one from that I'm gonna show you how to make the hair and how to attach the hair. So until the next time I'm gonna say happy crafting!